Hi, this is Ryan Poe, and I'm recording this video because I moved to Olathe when I was 16 years old, and I'm 31 today. And my dad just moved into a house in 2013 off of 1425 South KIOWA Drive, in Olathe, Kansas 66062. And I believe that the government here is partly Canadian, but they don't tell Washington, D.C. that because they're undercover and they've been in government here for over a decade and a half, or for over a century and a half, yeah. So they've been seated in as American citizens, but they're really Canadians in secrecy, and Washington, D.C. might not know about it. But you have Quick Trip, a Canadian gas station, and what I want to bring up is part of the government here in Olathe. It's really not Olathe. They changed the name years ago. A slave trader woman that Angels told me about said when she was here, she was a white Caucasian slave trader woman, she called it Olathe, Kansas. Olathe, Kansas. But they changed the name because they found out that people didn't like that socially. They wanted to sound, more whatever, but they changed the pronunciation, but it's really called Olathe, Kansas years ago. Here's the thing. My dad moved into a house, and I think they have gassing systems and their HVAC systems in homes, and what they do is, God told me it's called a vacuolating housing system. VAACULATING, vacuolating housing system here in Olathe. So you move into a neighborhood, for instance, and you have undercover detectives living across the street, like in Ryan's instance. Like Ryan, he has undercover detectives and government officials living all around him, but they never tell him they're government officials. It was Angels that did. And there's like 5 families or 6 that moved in and out of the neighborhood since Ryan's been here. But a vacuolating housing system, what does that do? Well, it pretty much, someone moves into a house, and there's people that sometimes don't move out, but the house is sold again, and people sometimes don't know what happened to the family who lived in there before. It's happened a few times. God told me this started happening in Olathe around the 1970s. Olathe. The 1970s, local governments, they started their vacuolating housing systems idea, where they keep detectives across the street from people unknowingly aware, and they'll monitor the houses and people, and sometimes they'll move people out without the people really want to move out, and there's sometimes missing people involved, recirculated finances, missing identities, a bunch of stuff, and they hide all the names, all the names of the people who live there, change the names. And they take the finances from the people that died in the house sometimes and recirculate it into the government world of money. But evacuating housing system. So, like for instance, in this house, I've got a vent. On my bedroom wall. Let's see. And they'll gas people in their homes. And I talked to Angels about it. I said, so they put a bumper on the HVAC system, the heater and air conditioning unit, a gas bumper. It's called a bumper. They do it in cars too. Here in Olathe, they put gassing units in people's cars and the homes. And they will distribute. They have detectives that live across the street that have remote controls to operate the gassing system, the air conditioning, and furnace unit in the homes that they're watching, and they'll make people tired when they don't need to be tired. And they have a sleeping gas and they have a waking gas. So if they want you to fall asleep, they'll turn on the gas, for instance, and you'll get tired and you'll fall asleep. If they want you to wake up, they'll put on that gas, and you just somehow wake up at different times of the night or morning, like I did. But anyways, they don't just do it in homes, they do it in cars. So it's real dangerous, and God told me, just like He told me Quick Trip is a Canadian gas station, just like God told me a lot of stuff, Quick Trip isn't American, it's Canadian, and it's a Canadian gas station. So He told me that, He told me other things, and I put together some information on my own since I've been living here and surveillancing my own community, and You don't just put those gassing systems in houses, though. If they're watching somebody, they'll put it in their car too, and they'll make you sleepy in your car, so you don't drive too far. Maybe you turn around and go home, and you have to park because you're so sleepy from the gas they're circulating in your car. So that's just the way for Kansas, but it wasn't the American government responsible for it. That was really the Canadians' ideas, living secretively as Americans in the Midwest, like Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, and Colorado. It was secretively the Canadians posing as Americans because they've been seated here as families with secret documents since the 1820s and 1850s and 1860s. They've been seated in as families, but they were originally Canadians, and that's the secret behind all this. Kansas, Kansas is a lot of Canadians. But they don't tell people that. It's seated in family over a century and over 125 years ago. It's real truthful. It's just as truthful as Quick Trip being a Canadian gas station. They said it was founded in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a United States territory. Well, you don't know all the history of how people got here and became citizens. There was people that were murdered on their farmlands by Canadians trespassing on the territory here a century ago and more. And they took the farmers' lands that were actually American. They planted their own families there before you started making birth certificates and documents and social security numbers. And they misplaced a whole group of naturalized Americans with Canadians. They've been living here ever since. So, anyways, please take care and listen to this video. I'm bothered. I don't want to be gassed with sleeping gas or waking gas in my home by some government. It's nuts. I never did anything as a person. You shouldn't do it anyways. I mean, that's wrong surveillance. That's like Canadian, like foreign undercover government ideas, not American government ideas. It's wrong. Either way, take care. That's what I'm going through. Just pray for me if you see this video and really love me, because I'm being completely honest.